What's going on? We back. Motor City Sports Talk. It's your boy CJ Goodfella back in the building. At least we're going to double dip Lions today, man. 2 Lions videos. Dropped one earlier about TJ Jones. And we're talking about the defensive backfield. Got a video request. And if you got a video request, you can go to Motor City Sports Talk on Facebook and DM me there or in the comment section. Probably in a DM on our Facebook page is better. But I definitely got to break down some footage of the linebackers to give a better assessment to do that video request. So bear with me. If I forget, just remind me, man. But I probably won't. But, I'm talking about the defensive backs, man. I think the defensive backs are the strongest group on the squad, bar none. I think, on the defense, excuse me. I think our DBs are the backbone of this defense right now, especially when you look at the linebacker position, which is, it has the potential to be one of the best on the team. But we don't know about Christian Jones. We don't know about Devin Kennard. Gerard Davis, he got to, have a step in the right direction, have a growth year this year. Okay. And our front 4 defensive linemen, Ziggy is good. Ashawn, we looking for having another quantum leap and possibly becoming a Pro Bowl defensive tackle, led the leagues and batted down passes last year and the last 2 years, I believe. Sylvester Williams, we need a little bit more depth at the defensive tackle position. Hopefully we can get Jonathan Hankins here. Kerry Hyder's coming back. Anthony Zettles, hopefully a year better, a year smarter. But the defensive backfield, in my opinion, has the potential to have at least 4 Pro Bowlers, And we can start with the cornerbacks. The nickel position, Jamal Agnew is looking to take over that position. I think he stepped in last year and played some nickel as well. The year he left San Diego University, I believe it was, he led the FBS and pass breakup, so he definitely has the ball skills. He just has to learn how to adjust in the NFL to these, these super athletes. You know what I'm saying? And it's just an adjustment. I think this year they might, if he wins the job in camp, he gonna have a lot of opportunity to do well and dominate that nickel position. And Quadra can roll to that safety position opposite of Glover Quinn. If, he can beat up Miles Killebrew, to go to the safety position. Well, I'll go back to the safety position. But also you got Jalen Tease-Tabor, who is looking to entrench himself as the number 2 corner on his team. He'll be battling Nevin Lawson and Deshaun Shedd on the right-hand side, number 35 with the Seahawks uniform on. Deshaun Shedd had a hell of a year last year with the Seahawks. He emerged as, one of their better defensive backs with all the injuries they had. And he'll be battling Tease-Tabor. Would I be surprised if he beat Tabor out for the second starting cornerback position opposite of Darius Slay? Absolutely not. Because Tease-Tabor, he struggled to even play last year. Then he got on special teams and he worked his way in the lineup and he made some plays. He's a real ball skills and handsy guy. And he's a big playmaker. He ain't one of them old-fashioned Lions cornerbacks we had like Bill Bentley, Aaron Berry, who don't thrive and get those opportunities and capitalize on getting the interceptions or turning their head around and playing the ball. These ain't your old 3 or 4 or 5 years ago Lions defensive backs. These are guys that they have identified and drafted that have ball skills and they turn their head around. And Martin Mayhew picked Darius Slay, and it was a little bit too late in his career because he should have been picked a Darius Slay type of guy at the cornerback position. This is a guy, Martin Mayhew, who played defensive back in the NFL and didn't have any value for DBs. He just didn't have no values. We could thank him for Darius Slay and bring Glover Quinn in, but other than the cornerback position, other than that, the Darius Slay, he wasn't investing into it. So we'll see what Tease-Tabor got. This is going to bring the best out of Deshaun Shedd and Tease-Tabor. Nevin Lawson at this point is just a depth guy. He's just a guy that knows the system that's just there for depth. You feel me? So, Quadra Diggs, he's a guy that's going to, battle for 2 positions, safety spot and a nickel. He's another guy that showed to be a big hitter and have some ball skills. And when you can tackle and hit like he can, that sounds more like a safety, but he's a guy that's going to be that could be a utility guy like Don Carey was once upon a time for us. Miles Killebrew is another guy that I like. I think in this defense is going to bring the best out of him. It's a make or break year for Miles Killebrew, but in this defense, if he can't make it in this defense at this this safety position, which is going to be opposite of Glover Quinn. It might be, if he wins the job, it'd be more of a box safety position. He'd be what Patrick Chung was with the Patriots. In my opinion, he's a better athlete than Patrick Chung. You know, and Patrick Chung, you know, when he left New England, he wasn't as effective when he was with Philly. We got a New England system, opposite of McCourty. Devin McCourty, he thrived. And I think Matt Patricia knows exactly, you know, he has that exact position for Miles Killebrew. And if he's improved over the summer, a little bit of his ball skills, they're going to put him in position to be successful and be a breakout star on this defense, I believe. This is the perfect position for Miles Killebrew and the perfect time for him to bust out right now in Matt Patricia's defense. I think he could be a better Patrick Chung in this defense, you know, in my opinion, you know. But before I get to the two vets in this team, this is probably the best defensive backfield as far as depth and on paper that I've seen with Detroit in quite some time, man. It's been a long, long time. I mean, we've been through the Terry Fairs, we've been through the Dre Blyes, we've been through the Bill Benleys, Aaron Berries, Alex Carter. We've been through a lot of different defensive backs and guys who I probably just don't even remember or can name off the top of my head. You know, I've seen a lot of defensive backs 2, 3, 4 years ago who had a great defensive front four in front of them with Sue and Fairley and even going back to Sean Rogers and those boys that never capitalized off that pass rush and turned their head around and helped the front seven. You know, not a back end is strong and the lines are rebuilding the front end, but that been the Patriot way. You know, the Patriot way was having a strong back end and generating pass rush, you know, with their system. And I think that's what Matt Patricia gonna bring with the Lions. It was basically the front seven, you know, the front four. You know, they created pressure with just their four, and in the back end, you know, had to make plays when that ball came out hot. You know, not oftentimes that front four was Sue Fairley and Cliff Averill and Zinke Ansah with Vandy Bashapart at a particular time. You know, all those mixtures at one point they was getting a lot of pressure. The simple fact that defensive backs wasn't turning their heads around and playing the ball and getting those opportunities, wasn't capitalizing those interception opportunities. We won't have that problem anymore. You know, Glover Quinn is just not the only biggest star now on the team. Now you got Darius Slay. Now you got two guys that kind of Quinn that's been, you know, pushed, you know, artificially putting this organization. He done grew with this organization. He done groom some of these baby DBs. He done helped groom Quadre Diggs. He done helped groom Tease Tabor. I mean, help groom Miles Killebrew. They help him groom Jamal Agnew. And we got two leaders in the defensive backfield in Darius Slay and Glover Quinn. This is one of the best defensive backfields, even last year, that I've seen in my 20-plus years watching Detroit Lions. It's growing, got a lot of potential, a lot of youth, a lot of ball skills, and it's going to be dangerous. And they can create any type of pass rush with this Matt Patricia defense. I mean, it's going to be Pick City. I mean, you got a lot of guys. Quadre could take it to the house. You know, Glover Quinn could take it to the house. Forrest Fumbles. Darius Slay could take it to the house. Ball skills. Miles Killebrew, big hitter. Diggs, a big hitter. Tease Tabor has amazing ball skills. It's going to be a good year if they can get it all put together. But we gone.